The king placed two objects in front of him, a precious diamond and a simple stone. The king asked, "Which one is more valuable?" To everyone's surprise, the man picked the simple stone and said, "This is more valuable." The entire court burst into laughter. In a grand kingdom, there lived a man known for his wisdom. He never boasted about his intelligence, nor did he try to prove himself to others. Yet, people often misunderstood him, calling him foolish or strange. Despite his calm nature, he held a deep understanding of life, one that only a few could recognize. The king had heard many things about this man. Some called him a genius, while others mocked him for his unusual choices. The king, curious to test his intelligence, decided to put him through a public challenge. Let's see if he truly possesses wisdom, or if people have been fooled by his silence, the king thought. One morning, the king summoned the wise man to his court. The entire palace gathered, eager to witness the test. The king placed two objects on a golden tray, a precious diamond and a simple stone. With a confident smile, the king said, "Tell me, which one is more valuable?" The audience murmured among themselves. Surely this was an easy question. Without hesitation, the wise man picked up the stone and said, "This is more valuable." The room erupted into laughter. Ministers, guards, and nobles all shook their heads, whispering that the man was a fool. The king smirked and leaned forward. "Do you not know that a diamond is worth far more than a stone?" The wise man remained calm and simply replied, "I know, Your Majesty." The laughter stopped. Confusion filled the room. If he knew, then why did he make the wrong choice? The king, now intrigued, asked, "Then why did you pick the stone? Were you trying to test me?" The wise man shook his head. "No, Your Majesty. I chose the stone because I understand how people think. If I had chosen the diamond today, this test would have ended. But by picking the stone, I know you will call me again tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that, and each time, I will receive your attention." A hush fell over the court. The wise man continued, "If I prove my intelligence once, I will no longer be of interest to you. But if I allow myself to be underestimated, I will always remain in your sight, and that is far more valuable than a single victory." The king was speechless. The ministers, who had laughed before, now looked at each other in shock. That evening, the wise man returned home. His friend, who had heard what happened, asked in frustration, "Why let them mock you? Why not just show your intelligence?" Instead of answering, the wise man walked to a wooden chest in his room and opened it. Inside there were hundreds of gold coins. His friend gasped, "Where did all this come from?" The wise man smiled. "Every time the king tests me, he rewards me with gold. If I had proven my intelligence once, I would have received nothing more, but by playing the fool, I have gained more than anyone in the court." His friend shook his head in amazement. "So you let people laugh at you on purpose?" The wise man nodded. "Sometimes, it is better to be underestimated than to be seen as a threat." The next day, the king reflected on what had happened. He realized that true intelligence does not need to be proven. Those who are truly wise do not seek approval, they seek results. From that moment on, the king no longer tested the wise man. Instead, he began to seek his advice in private, knowing that true power lies in silence and patience. The ministers who had once mocked him now respected him. Moral of the story: the power of silent success. There are two types of people in the world: those who do little but make a big show of it, and those who achieve great things without showing off. If you know you're on the right path, it doesn't matter if people misunderstand you or doubt you. The world often calls those it doesn't understand crazy. But remember, true success does not need validation. It speaks for itself.